I fucking wish it was you.
Okay.
Introduce the podcast, Russ.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch terrible movies so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
And we're back with part 2 of the open house, still with our close friends. The Ohio State, open house, with our friends Thaís and Brady from Worth Watching Once podcast joining us still, unbelievably. I can't believe they survived this long.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
We're still
I also cannot believe that I'm still talking about this movie.
So here we are, and this is part 2, and let's just get right into it, and let's run. Let's run like Logan does. He's running at this point, isn't he?
Yeah,
oh, sorry. What?
Segue.
Oh yeah.
Great seg you.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Sometimes I do well.
I fucking wish it was you.
What a dagger.
Brutal. So brutal. I can't wait till we get to that part. It's so close.
Sorry. Yeah, so we're out for a run. It's like maybe, 5 o'clock in the morning? I don't know what time. No, time doesn't mean anything. Time
means nothing. This is usually in the podcast. We get to the second part of the podcast where we always say this, where it's like, I think at this point, time means nothing to the.
Yeah, it's just everything happens so fast.
Yes.
Well, you know what doesn't happen so fast? This kid's running a mile. All of a sudden, he slows way down from 5:07, 5:34. Like, what? There's no way he's going to the Olympics, right?
Kids, you're not. Yeah, Japan's not calling. You're not making it.
This kid sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done.
And his phone is just missing for days now.
Yeah, that seems stupid. So they walk back to the house. So mom and son are out and doing a test and checking the mile checker.
Did anyone ever shut off the stove? So I know I think I misinterpreted the situation earlier, but like in part 1, when I guess I realized now people are just lighting the pilot light, but it seemed like someone was lighting the stove, right? Am I crazy?
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
You're kind of losing me on that one.
Well, then in that case, Chris is back.
Yeah, Chris is back.
Knocking on the front door, yeah.
Just kind of looking in, kind of creepily, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Logan and mom come back, and Logan's like, "Hey, what are you doing, guy, motherfucker?" He doesn't say that, but
he gives the excuse of, he's like, "Oh well, I was just driving around the neighborhood, saw the house was for sale, figured I'd pull up." Which
driving around the neighborhood, by the way,
that's so weird.
Yes,
not much of a neighborhood.
Yeah,
wow.
We're in the woods.
Yes,
and also like, how can he afford this house? Doesn't he he own that market? Like, I thought he was just a front desk guy at like a local like clothing store.
We don't know enough
How
about
can
Chris.
he afford this house? Because I looked up the house. So, fun fact: the house.
Fast fact.
Fast fact.
Freshy fact. It's a freshy fact midway
Freshy
through.
fact.
Here we go.
Okay.
So the address for this house is 840 McAllister Road, Big Bear City, California, 92314.
Wait, what's the name of the street?
McAllister Road.
Which
Like,
is the same last name as Joannie.
Yeah, Joannie. Or Joni or Joannie. Yeah.
Maybe that's the name of the owner.
I've heard it several ways.
Interesting.
Anyways, the house on Zillow is estimated at $1,255,815.
What is estimate?
Come on, that's like a condo here in Boston. Get out of here with that shit.
It is 3 bedrooms,
Please.
3 bathrooms.
What, that place is 3 bedrooms?
3,573
Oh, I fucking nailed it. I called that thing as 3,000 square feet. Nailed it.
I thought that was small for what we're talking here. This seems like a small mansion. I don't know.
1.2 million, huh?
Yeah, and there's houses up and down the street that are for sale for 1.7 million, 1.4 million.
Wow.
Huh.
So, and this house was built in 1999.
They showed us.
And it's on 1.5 acres.
Wait, that was built in 1999? It did not look that updated.
The pictures are still like old looking.
Exterior shots only.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
No, but the inside looks exactly like the movie.
Oh, they filmed there too?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they filmed inside the house.
Not the basement. Tell me not the basement.
No, I thought I thought you said they filmed it down in San Bernardino.
Pasadena,
San Bernardino.
I think Pasadena was their first house that they were renting. So, are you guys ready for this? It does not say. It doesn't say it has a basement.
Oh, because the Alamo doesn't have a basement, so that makes sense.
Remember the Alamo.
So again, this house is bananas expensive. How is Chris affording it?
We don't know. We don't know him. We don't know his place. Maybe he's got.
Maybe
he's running into
Chris
family
is
money. Maybe he's loaded. He owns the store. He owns the only general store in town. Like this, yeah. Anyway, so they get back and Chris is like, yeah, places for sale, interested. And then she just lets him in and is like, yeah, go ahead. Walk around by yourself.
Is there any chance I could possibly see the house today? She's like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want.
Yeah, just walk around. It's fine.
You missed the open house.
Yeah,
do literally whatever you want because I'm not going to follow you.
This is the downfall of mom here. She's done. She's an idiot.
One of the many downfalls of mom. Naomi, rest in peace.
Spoilers. So he walks around and he does this weird, like, I'm going to go check out the basement thing.
He's exactly like my sister as a little kid being like, walking around a store, touching everything. And my mom would always be like, Elizabeth, don't touch stuff. Just looking. So he's like walking around the house, like just looking, like just randomly touching things. You're like,
yeah.
Oh, and then leading my way to the basement where I'm going to go touch more stuff.
But there's a weird moment where he looks over his shoulder as he's going to the basement door. And at this point I was like, oh, maybe there is something like in the basement that someone like everyone knows and they want. Like there's some money or something down there.
Interesting.
Because they played it off like he knew something about this basement, right?
Or
the way he like looked. Yeah.
Could be another red herring, right?
It's garbage. I don't like that.
The movie's mostly red herring. There's like nothing actually worth paying attention to in the movie. It's like, everything's a lie.
So mom just lets him walk around. I mean, she's known him for a little bit. Man, he's just walking around this 3,000 square foot place by himself, and she's off doing her own thing. Logan
probably left. She literally says,
yeah.
Oh, whatever. He probably left.
Well, Logan's working on a playlist, which is basically the same song that he was listening to when his dad died. And he's just like, it's a playlist of that same song over and over again. Then he comes downstairs and she's looking for Chris. And it's just stupid. I hate all of this. I hate all of it.
Yeah. Oh, well, she's like, oh, did you escort? Like, what happened down here? She's like, oh, well, remember that guy, Chris? He like came by. He wanted to see the house. And he's like, oh, yeah, that was when I stormed inside. She was like, yeah, so I just let him in, and he wandered around. He probably left, though, because by now it's been several time periods from now.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah, we've gone through a couple cycles.
Ma. Right.
And then mom opens up an old box and pulls out the old camera because you know what? Seize the moment. FOMO. YOLO.
Infuriating. You know? Yeah, like Logan has every right to be mad in this scenario, I think, right? Like,
yes.
Thaís, Brady, call me out here. Logan... In my mind, Logan has every right to be furious because she just let some stranger into their house, has no idea where he is. He could be the creeper in the basement so easily.
Right. He was also hitting on mom.
Right.
Logan doesn't like that because their dad just died.
Daddy died like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. He's like, Mom, you're a thirsty bitch. Like,
Mom needs to move on, though. Mom needs a little something, you know?
What?
The dad just died.
He just died, Russ.
Dude, it's been like 4 weeks. You know how many nights and days have passed now? You guys been paying attention to time?
It's been 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah.
4 weeks, I think. Come on, get over it. Move on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Russ.
What, too soon?
Listen, Russ, when you die, we're going to get another podcast partner like ASAP.
Yeah.
Who's we?
Yeah, don't stop the train from fucking cranking. Come on, man. Whatever. Why?
Content don't sleep.
Yeah, content doesn't sleep. Are you kidding me? This thing better keep going when I'm done. When I'm gone. So technically, at this point, we are at the halfway point of the movie. It's an hour and a half long. We're at the 45-minute point.
No.
Yes, get fired up. So then we go back into Logan and mom in the house, nighttime, making mac and cheese, and what else do you want? Hot dogs.
Yeah, enough said.
That's it.
They continue to make amazing meals.
Yes.
Yeah. And scene.
Yes, and
No,
scene.
continues.
And then we get
like nobody looked for Chris. Nobody went and tried to figure out where Chris was.
Nope.
I'm still so rattled. Like,
Nope.
oh, we
Nope.
must have left. We just
Nope.
left a stranger at our house for hours.
It's only 3,000 square feet. Like I'm sure they would have seen him.
What?
So then we get a doorbell ring because that's startling, and it's creepy fucking Martha showing up with
Classic Martha.
Martha showing up with being a neighborly thing and bringing over, what did she bring over, some bread, banana bread or something?
Banana.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sing it.
No, singing it is good.
No, singing
Sing
is
it better
fantastic.
into the mic because
because
Banana bread.
nailed it, love it.
perfect. And I like how Martha is like very much backhanded complimenting. Oh, I just love this little house. You're like, wait, this is a 3,500 square foot mansion.
I'm sorry, little.
Yeah. Excuse me, Martha.
I'm sorry, Martha. How long did it take you to walk up the driveway? You fucking moron. Come on.
I feel a little bit awkward if I didn't tell you, but
Yes.
we came to the open house yesterday.
Yeah.
Martha.
And then,
I don't give a shit.
First of all, who the fuck is we?
Well, her dead husband,
yeah.
because Martha has Alzheimer's.
Well, I was just going to say, we're all about to feel terrible because she's got Alzheimer's. We don't know that yet. So Martha slips up, though, and she's like, yeah, my husband and I will come up here sometime. And Mom's like, I'm sorry.
Can't wait to meet the two of you.
Couldn't Martha have gotten remarried? Like, Mom, a little jump in the gun there that, like,
True.
she said her husband died. Yeah, I guess maybe not. Anyways, it's stupid. It's weird, and it's just supposed to make us feel more tense and thinking that Martha's a super creeper person, but she's got
In the
zero.
background.
She has zero play into the entire plot. I'm sorry. Did you? I thought you said your husband was dead. Oh, did I? Why would I say that? And then Mom's showering again.
Exactly.
And again, hot water goes out, and yet again, she goes down to the basement, and yet again, just a towel.
Wait, hold on. Let me just pop down and relight that pilot. I'm
Infuriating.
not wearing shoes on the broken wooden steps with splinters
Infuriating.
everywhere.
It really is
Infuriating.
such an unbelievable plot point that they're like, we have to have the pilot light keep going out, and she's in the shower every time.
Every single time.
Every single time.
And also,
so that we can
again,
show her in the shower and
Yep.
show her in a towel and
Yep.
show her barefoot on the bare
Yeah.
cement basement floor.
the hot water tank has water in it. Like every
Yeah.
time, it's like, oh, the
Mhm.
pilot light went out, and she
So
goes,
the mechanics of it don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Then
wouldn't
so
be cold.
But then so she goes down and fixes it, right? And then did you guys catch it? This is a good goof. When she comes back up to go back into the shower, her hair was totally dry.
Yep.
Bingo, bango.
Didn't catch it.
Goof.
And then the water gets hot this time, not cold.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's what. I wrote down it got cold again because she like stepped back from like in the shower. I thought it just got cold again.
No, this time it got hotter. So then now she finally has the bright idea to send her son to the basement.
yeah, her idiot son who can't run a fucking 5-minute
Who-
mile.
Immediately forgets how to use a flashlight again.
Yeah. Water temperature is such a big plot point in this movie.
Yeah, kid, you need to shave 20 seconds off your time because you can't smart your way through this world. So
What if this movie is actually Lady in the Water?
Ooh, it could be Lady in the Water.
anything's possible. So he's on it. He's got some matches. He's like fumbling around. Yet again, this is a moment like where it's super dark and it's like we don't see anything, and he lights a match. You see someone's head right behind him. So this bothers me because it's again like it's not a supernatural entity. It's a human being who's in the basement.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have ever had someone just stand behind you, like even 5 feet behind you. Like
Sure.
you can fucking feel them behind you. And how is this person just disappearing? Like they're a ghost.
Just like he did from the road earlier in the movie.
Right.
Inexplicably.
He's just like poof gone. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I think inexplicably is the key.
Exactly.
There is no explicable.
No, there is no explicable in
There's
this
no
at all.
explicable.
And then we get the I might be jumping here, but then we get the camera moving like really fast. Like it cuts just the camera. Remember the camera's like moving really quickly through the whole like living room and everything. And I was like, all right, it's kind of like a Sam Raimi thing where it's like moving really fast. I'm like, why are we doing this all of a sudden? It's like, is someone
Very Spider-Man 3.
I was, yeah.
Okay.
The seminal Sam Raimi movie, Spider-Man 3.
The one we all know and love him for.
Right.
I was thinking more Quick and the Dead, but yeah, okay.
I've heard about this.
So then the camera just cuts through and gets into the bedroom where Logan is, and it just gets to him there sleeping, right?
Well, no, first it goes into Naomi's room, shows that she's sleeping, and
Right.
then goes into Logan.
And then it goes to him, and then it goes to showing like his glasses on the table, and then he wakes up kind of sloppily, and then the glasses are gone, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets up to go take a leak, and there's some guy in the background just walking through, being all creepy in the place. This wasn't.
Which I do appreciate, like, him going to the bathroom and not turning on any of the lights and keeping his eyes closed. And, like, I do that all the time. Like, when I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I'm not turning on lights. Like, my eyes are, like I'm trying to stay asleep.
But he's blind, so I don't think he needs lights.
I'm also blind.
True.
My glasses are also missing.
I mean, I'm sitting on a call here with 3 other people who are wearing glasses right now. Like, it's debilitating to not have your glasses, right?
No,
if you know your house.
That'd be fun.
no, mine are fine. I just use them for driving or if I'm on a computer. That's all. I can take these things. I can still drive a car without them on.
Oh boy, a classic drunk guy response. I could still drive a car.
That's right. You ever see me drive a car when I'm not supposed to drive a car?
Oh boy. All right. PSA listeners, don't drive drunk.
Don't drive. Don't drive a
Or
car
without your glasses.
Yeah, don't drive a car when you're not supposed to drive a car. Well, I think we cut to next day Logan running again, right?
Yeah.
Logan
Well,
runs.
before that, he wakes up and his glasses are back.
Logan runs.
Right. Yeah, he wakes up, glasses are back, and it's just kind of like bleh, whatever.
And then he goes for a run.
Yep.
And vomits.
And he runs and he runs and he's not doing too well though. He's getting up the hill there. It must be the altitude. He starts puking, right? And then Martha shows up because she just shows up whenever.
Thank God.
Out of the woods.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, I was walking in the woods and I saw you running."
She's like, I love to start. I want Martha's life. I'm a huge Martha stan.
Yeah.
This movie. She's like, oh, every morning I just walk around the woods for a bit, just like stroll around, see how life's going.
Yeah.
Sick, Martha. That's fucking awesome.
Good for you.
I want what you have.
And then Mom pulls up out of nowhere, right in the car.
Right.
Logan gets in, and then we get some more nuggets from Martha here, right? And she's just like, "Yeah, he's not doing too well, but you know what? Nothing a hot shower. Fucking really just jab it into him, Martha. You fucking bitch. They don't have a hot water heater that's working correctly right now, but thanks. Nothing a hot shower and a meal won't fix."
Yeah, red herring again.
Another herring.
Well, they're all
Another
over the place.
delicious pickled herring.
And then that's that, right? And well, she drops some other dark lines here, right?
Well, that's when Martha leans into the driver's window.
Yeah. It's like it moves in and never leaves. Bye-bye now.
See ya. All right. Fucking Martha, we're done with you.
Smell ya.
And even they were like, wow, what a character. Like,
yeah, Dylan's like, she's so weird.
Sounds
Oh,
about right.
okay. Thanks for participating in the script.
Yeah, the old tell don't show.
Ad lib.
Sack of shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a garbage actor. Don't let anyone tell you that. I hope that there was someone berating him the whole time on the sidelines, just being like, "Fuck you, you suck." You know that?
No, man, it was
Try.
It was a good collaborative team thing they had going on there.
I don't want that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say it's worth mentioning while Logan was on a run, his mom was on the phone talking to maybe the sister or the realtor or somebody about calling a plumber. Because then the next scene, the plumber shows up.
Yep, we get the creepy plumber who's definitely the killer. And he shows up and he's down there tinkering with a hot water heater, and then there's another use of the generic intense horror music that we know and love from every single movie ever. Yeah. And it's like ramping up and it's like just goes nowhere. But so guy's fixing the hot water heater. Mom finds a crumpled up family photo in the trash.
The the family photo.
Yeah, the family photo. And then we get another jump scare.
The open house, Russ.
And then we get a hand that comes in over her shoulder and like, oh no. And it's just the plumber scaring the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Like, why not just be like, hey, ma'am, problem solved.
And then talking about Martha, where he's like, oh yeah, her husband died a few months ago. Also, she got Alzheimer's a few months ago. Wait, everything in Martha's life happened a few months ago?
Yes. Yep.
Martha's very one-dimensional and strictly to move the plot forward of this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I wanted
she
to believe
also
that Martha
doesn't.
she
at
doesn't.
all
Right. She
move
doesn't
the
at
all.
plot forward. Why is Martha in this movie?
there's no reason for her to be.
There's
other
no
than,
reason.
I don't know.
He tried to like creep people out with her.
Yeah.
Purple herring.
It didn't work.
Yeah. I'm not buying it. And the repair guy's got a lot of information to give you, by the way.
Yeah, fuck Martha. Yeah, repair guy is full of information.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great. You explained everything. Now Martha's definitely not a suspect anymore.
Yeah.
And he fixed the thermal coupler.
Oh, yeah, and he replaced the old thermal coupler.
Yeah, Luke Skywalkered it, right? And fucking...
Yeah, hitting some swamp rats.
No, it wasn't thermal couplings he was going to get.
Womp, 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 womp.
But the plumber did find Logan's phone next to the water heater.
True. Which
Power
implicated
converters.
him.
That's what it was. He was going to get power converters at the Tashi station. Anyways, yeah.
Thanks, Russ.
Sorry. That was like more important for me to figure out. That was more important for me to figure out than this fucking movie.
Yeah. No, and then but he did find the power converter down by the heat pump for the water tank.
He found his phone by the
Right.
water heater,
Right.
Yes.
which implicates Logan. So the mom gets furious.
Yeah. And she's like,
And this leads
He's
to
awful.
a big mom-son fight. Mom gets physical. Mom's like, "Don't you talk to me?" I was like, "Oh boy, this is awkward."
This was one of the worst parts of the movie for me.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for us to all talk about this because there's a lot going on here, right? So they hammer at each other, and she's just like
what?
yelling at each
I guess.
other.
Yeah. No. Yeah. They're hammering for sure.
Jared, are you still talking about the same movie?
No. Russ said hammering, and I was like, wait, that's a weird thing to say.
Why is that weird?
They're like attacking each other.
Yeah.
All right. No. You're right. They're hammering each other.
She's like,
Things
"You're
were
an ungrateful
said.
Yeah.
son."
Things are said. I fucking hate you. He
Yeah.
says.
Yeah. She's like, your dad put us in this situation.
He died in front of me. You never even asked me how I was feeling.
I don't
And-
care about how you feel, son. You're a piece of shit, ungrateful little fucker.
And then
I fucking wish it was you.
and then the truth comes out, right? Dad was a useless piece of shit.
That was good
Yeah.
acting.
Thanks.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I guess that was a good job, guys. There, back and forth.
Appreciate
There.
it.
But yeah, Dad
No,
basically.
Daddy left them this way.
Yeah, Dad sucked. Hate to see it. Yeah, because he's useless John Hamm.
Like they never explained like how he was like bad with money.
Yeah.
She was just like, I'm married to a plumber.
Oh, he just owes so much money to so many people for some inexplicable reason.
Hmm.
Okay.
That would have been even cooler if the killer was someone like he owed money to like the mob or something, and the killer was coming to fucking hunt them down and like. Right?
And that's when the killer start. I mean, spoilers for what's ahead. When the killer started happening, he's breaking her fingers and shit. I said to Thaís, I was like, oh, classic mob tactic. This guy, like, he's coming to collect on the debts.
Yep, 100%.
No, not at all.
No, it's nothing like
Stupid. This movie sucks. That's like, if it was good, that would have been like, oh, that's a great point.
that. Yeah,
Of course, he's coming to collect on the debts.
that'd have been more
This movie
interesting.
blows. Right.
Yep.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And then we're back in the basement, right? Or is there more?
It's nighttime and Logan hears something in the basement.
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone just goes to sleep whenever anything weird happens. They're like, oh, well, guess I can't know anything more about that.
Right. So then he's like calling out, like, whoa, and like obviously no one's answering, but he's hearing things in the basement. So he heads down there. And it's super obvious that the step is still broken in this scene because he like skips over it.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know
Yeah, they very actively show Logan stepping over the broken stair.
Why are they being so? Why is that so important? Because it never comes
here.
back. It never comes back though. I don't want
Purple
to hear.
herring.
That's it. I don't want to hear any more herrings. No more herrings.
Pickled herring.
It's just bad movie making is what it is.
But he
Yep.
sees, a man in the basement with his back turned to him. And he's like, hello, Dad?
Sex predator?
Jesus Christ. And then his dad turns around and he's like choking on his own blood, and it's like blood coming out of his mouth, blood coming out of his eyes, just blood everywhere.
It's just a nightmare. Just
Logan wakes up.
Oh, it was all a dream. Great.
Classic.
God, we did all of that. Mom wakes him up and she's like, it's almost 1 p.m. You got to get out of bed. And he's like, Mom, why didn't you wake me up earlier? And she's like, I don't know. See ya.
See you later.
Like, nothing in this movie they explain.
No, and then so now Logan goes for a run. Mom drives around. It's the daytime now. And you'll notice in my notes I started marking like day, night, because I was trying to keep track because it was such a fucking mess.
Mommy bumps into Chris.
Yeah, so Mom bumps into Chris. It's probably like lunchtime.
Literally bumps into Chris.
I will say like it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'll give him that, right?
Yeah. To the store.
Yep, and Chris is like, yeah, I don't know. He says something. I don't know. I didn't care.
He's like, sorry, I left. I couldn't find you, so I just like peaced out.
Yeah, sorry, I left your house that one time. Remember, I just left. But then was like, that's not an explanation.
And this is another moment where like the music is, what do I get? And then there's like another moment where like the music is like ramping up again to being like really intense, and it's like, but nothing. She's just driving to a store, and that's it.
I'm just here to pick up some photos I'm having developed, and he's like, oh, cool. You like photographs?
Right, and then it cuts to like the camera getting closer to the basement. Door. Like, and then it cuts to like Logan running.
This is a photograph.
Right, and then it cuts back to Naomi with Chris again, goes back to the basement, and it does this like 6 times while the music is just like ramping up, and you're getting like more and more like uncomfortable because it's like, is something supposed to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, something's supposed to happen, but it doesn't. And then it's like,
meanwhile, Logan's still running. Like they just like, they're cutting it in between. They're like, it's really tense. It's the mom and that guy. And then it's like Logan running on the street. And you're like, oh, something really tense is about to happen. Something crazy is about to happen.
Mom got her photos developed.
Yeah. And then mom got a call.
It's been, I think, 8 hours at least. She's been walking around getting her photos. And she is driving back and gets a call from her sister, I think, and says like, oh, the realtor called and says like the house is broken into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so and then mom's racing home and randomly picks up Logan on the side of the street in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. I guess there's only one road in town. That's fine. And then
there's only one road.
And then they race home and they get home and the door is open and there's Silent Night playing.
Why did they get to the house before? Why weren't cops? Why did they have to call the cops about a break-in? How did the realtors know that there was a break-in?
We just heard there was a break-in at the house. You're like, wait, why wouldn't you call the police or anyone else?
These are all good points. I think my brain was melted. A hole melted through my brain at this point, so I didn't think through logic. But these are all make sense.
And like I didn't get the feeling that it was her sister telling her. Like could it have been the guy who's been breaking into the house? Could he have called?
No.
Yeah.
like
anonymously and was like, oh, 840 McAllister has been broken into.
Kevin McAllister is breaking in. No, because you actually hear the sister's voice. It's really quick, and she's like, "Oh, the real estate agent just called and said like the house has been broken into."
You hear it?
Yeah.
I feel like every single phone call before that, you don't hear ever anyone on the other line.
I know, it's
and then
weird.
This is like the one phone call you can hear on the other line. Like,
yeah, and they're driving in the car, and it's like really fast, and it's just like none of this makes any sense. And they get back, and like Silent Night's playing extremely loudly, and then there's a table where somebody ate dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for a nice candlelight dinner, and
the rotary phone is like on a platter, on top, like in the middle of the table,
like trying to be scary. It's like,
and I love how the cops are incredulous. They're just like, it must have been kids. It must have been kids these days doing all kinds of weird stuff. And you're like, wait, what? What? Like, why? Why would kids do that? Oh, well, messing with the new folks, right?
Right. So Logan has to call the cops.
Right.
Which, again, why did they have to call the cops? Why hasn't anyone called the cops? And then when the cops do show up and Logan's telling his theory, the cops
no,
don't believe him at all.
But I don't think so.
They don't even entertain the idea that somebody's in the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the cop's a director, so maybe he was ad-libbing this whole scene.
Yep.
And that cop who looks like his director looks nothing like a cop. He couldn't look less like a cop. His hair is so like LA director. It's insanely
Brady,
not a cop.
Brady, you ready for this? I'm going to blow your mind. You ready for this one? Because I'm pretty good with this one. You ready?
Yeah,
the director, the cop number one, right? Poor man's Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. Yep.
I love Jason Schwartzman.
You nailed that.
Bored to Death is a top comedy of all time.
That's all I can see. I was looking at this guy, I'm like, this guy's not a cop. This is Jason Schwartzman.
It's something about the hair or something.
Yes.
Yeah, looks kind of like my hair these days. Unnecessarily long.
Yeah.
Scraggly.
That's good.
So useless cops. And then we
The cops never come back the next morning like they said they were going to.
yeah, they don't. That's right. They're like, yeah, we'll come back in the morning. Check it out. And Mom's like,
It makes
thanks.
us feel better. We'll come back in the morning. It's like it would make us feel better if you A, like believed us, and B, I don't know, hung out outside.
And then we have the moment of like where there's always this moment of like one character being smart and other characters being stupid. And Logan's like, yeah, I think we should just leave and we should go stay in a hotel. And Mom's like, nah, I think it's fine. And by the way, we can't afford that.
Yeah. By the way, we're too poor for that, in case you weren't aware.
Just leave and head back towards a more public area and sleep in the car, whatever.
Hate it.
So she's
And it's
folding
like bedtime.
laundry. Yeah, time is so weird. So she's folding laundry. He comes in the room. He finds Chris's phone number, and she's like, yeah, my guy gave me her number. Whatever. What do we do?
And Logan's like, okay, I'm gonna go brush my teeth, and he leaves. And then the next scene, she's brushing her teeth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go brush my teeth.
And then the doorbell rings, and then it's Chris because Logan called him.
You don't care. Like, you can throw it out if you want to. And Logan's like,
No,
I'm gonna go brush my teeth. Yeah,
no, I got an idea. I'm gonna go take this phone number you got from this random guy who we met once, and then who I was a total hassle to, and I'm gonna call him to come over here to kind of protect us.
Next thing you know, Chris shows up.
Spoilers,
Hey.
he doesn't.
Heard you were brushing your teeth.
So Chris and Logan, they patrol the perimeter there with flashlights that all work, which is nice.
They don't know how to fold.
Yep. And then they have a little conversation. I didn't really pay attention. I didn't really care.
He wants a new daddy. That's the whole point.
No, he was just explaining how the cops like didn't believe him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, can you be my new daddy?
Yeah. And Chris was like, yeah, man, I don't know. You're an idiot. So
No, he was just
He's exactly what he means is, will you be my new daddy?
No.
Correct?
no. He was like, it just didn't feel like kids. And then he was like, what did it feel like? And Logan was like, I don't know, but not kids.
Yeah, what did it feel like? Children, will you be my new daddy?
Oh my
The whole
God.
premise of this.
Jesus. Do I have to mute you guys? What's going on here? What's
No,
happening?
you can't edit this.
Oh.
So then they go
One
back
love.
inside and Logan's like, thanks, Chris, for spending the night. And I'm like, okay, this house is like
It's
3
very
bedrooms.
Michael Jackson-esque.
And they make him sleep on the couch. Like they clearly have extra bedrooms in this house, but they're making Chris sleep on the couch.
It's a
Yeah.
3-bedroom. It's so there's a third bedroom.
There's at least a third bedroom.
And he like does, yeah. But Chris takes off black generic boots.
Mm.
Another red herring. So
Spooky
you're like,
boots.
oh my God, you just re-invited the fucker that's been in the house this whole time. Like, oh my God, it's definitely Chris. Like this movie is making you believe it's
At
everything.
some point, they're not red herrings. It's just bad movie making.
Yeah.
It's bad
You can't
writing.
keep saying bad red herring. It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's not red herrings.
I definitely saw the boot thing and it was like, oh, the boots, got it. But
Red
Oh.
herring.
Spooky boots, of course.
it's like this is working out for me. So Chris stays over, and then we get everyone's in bed. Logan hears a noise in the middle of the night. He comes downstairs right to find Chris. Chris is not on the couch anymore.
Right. And then there's
He was holding his life together out in the car.
Chris is the deadest.
okay.
Yeah.
How do we find dead Chris?
Carefully.
So there's banging on the door, right? And that's how Logan wakes up, goes downstairs, sees Chris is missing, looks over, and the front door is wide open, and the car turns on
Beep,
with the
beep.
blinker or the hazards are on.
Yep.
And so then Logan like walks out, goes to investigate the car, and the music's like dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
And then he gets inside, and Chris is in the front seat with his throat slit.
Yeah.
And this is
Dunzo.
like the first gory thing that we see in the movie. Like suddenly the movie went from being like super slow, boring to like, whoa, like we got some action here.
Yeah.
We're seeing blood. We're seeing so Logan's freaking out. He like backs up in the car like, oh, Chris. And then the camera's like from behind Logan starts like running towards Logan. And then his head gets like pushed against the car, right? He gets bashed right into the car.
This was the best part. I was like, thank God. I hope this kid's dead. And you
so
just
then
like,
Sam
falls to the ground, and the stranger, right, is like pouring some sort of liquid on
I thought it was
gas.
water. It's water.
I was hoping it was gas. I thought it was gas.
Wait, no, lame. No, I figured it was water. He was trying to freeze him out.
What?
How did you know that? No, we
Nailed it.
Everyone thought it was gas.
Yeah.
No. Brady,
come on.
Water.
Thank you.
All right, 50.
Yeah, water.
That's because, water is because this is the worst serial killer ever. Because he's like, I'm going to torture you by taking your contacts out. I'm going to torture you by pouring water on you while you freeze to death out here. It's like, dude, pour some gas on him and light him on. Come on, man.
If this movie was remotely interesting, I would have thought, oh, that's gasoline. But it's not. Yeah. So I thought it was
50 Swifty.
But because you didn't fall for any of the red herrings, you thought it was water.
Yes, I didn't fall for any of the red herrings.
Yeah, I didn't fall for any of the pickled herrings.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
let's talk about this next scene.
So this shit gets intense. So this gets a little bit better. Like, this is getting better. So Logan is knocked the fuck out. He's out in the driveway in the freezing cold, covered in cold water now. Chris is dead in the driver's seat, throat slit. He's done.
Classic.
Then we get guy in boots, Puss in Boots here. He climbs into bed with mom. Mm-hmm. Mom is laying there. She wakes up middle of the night. She goes to take a pee break, right? Comes back to bed, still doesn't realize that there's some human being in the bed with her. Maybe it's a king size bed.
Thinks it's Logan because she told him, that's right. You want to sleep with me tonight? And he was like, yeah. And then he leaves to go call Chris.
Yeah.
That was like the last conversation that the two of them had.
That's right.
This scene was, I think, the creepiest in the movie for me. Having the guy just like laying there like in a coffin, right? He's just like laying on his back with his like hands like laced on his chest, just like looking up. And she's like in bed, not noticing that he's right next to her.
Yeah.
I just made my skin crawl. For how shitty this movie is, this scene had me. Like I was like, oh my God, just turn around. Just fucking turn around. She wouldn't fucking turn around. Like, fucking run away. She didn't run away. She instead decides to look at her fucking developed photos. At like, what, 2 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, that looks like me sleeping.
Time doesn't matter, right?
Weird.
So she's flipping through photos, and then that's where she finds photos of Logan sleeping in bed.
And herself sleeping in bed. And then that's when the killer turns over and attacks her.
Yeah, and then kind of hardcore, like he struggles with her for a little bit, right? And then he pins her and he just cold cocks her. Boom. Knocks. Boom. Done. You out.
Ben breaks every finger on her hand.
Wait,
well, hold on. So
we're there. We're there right now.
No, Thaís, he does this to me all the time. All the time. I have to fix this all the time.
I'm trying to hurry us along here. We're taking forever.
Yeah, but you're not. The listeners are like, "What's happening?"
Another one.
So we cut to mom being tied up in the rocking chair. The rocking chair comes back, and then we get the boots guy is creepy petting her like on the face and whatnot, right? And she does something, and he just like punches right across the face. I was like, okay, wow. And then
on the ground, yeah.
And then he starts like petting her hand and like starts grabbing fingers. I was like, nah. There's things that really bother me is like it's fingernail and like eyeball stuff. Mm-hmm. And like the breaking of fingers like that. And I was like, oh man. And he kept doing it. He kept breaking all of them. I was like, all right, this is brutal.
This was Brady's favorite scene.
Classic Afghanistan.
Let me correct you real quick. It's not my favorite scene. It's when this is the most forgettable movie of all time. And the only thing that I remember about it is her fingers getting snapped. Absolutely mangied fingers. And so that's the only way I could remember the movie. It's like, oh, is that the mangied fingers movie? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's so graphic and so shocking and disturbing.
Yeah.
And everything else about this movie is so forgettable that's the one thing. So
another one.
Yeah. And another one.
Yeah. It was shocking.
So then Logan finally wakes up outside. He's like a frozen popsicle, right?
Yeah. He notices that the tires have been slashed.
Yep. And then he runs inside, finds mom, cuts her loose. This is a total mess, what we got going on right now, right?
Yeah.
And it was really weird. Like, why did the guy, like, a serial killer sucks. Like, where did he go? Like, where did he go? What's he doing?
To give him a false sense of hope, I think. He's still toying with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I kind of.
Yes.
Or maybe he went to get the knife.
Wow.
So Logan heads downstairs. There is a knife. The knife is on the ground, right?
Wait, before he heads downstairs, I wrote this down in all caps on my notes because he's like, "Mom, we gotta go downstairs and like call for somebody." She's like, "No, we can't."
Mom.
Yeah.
Mom.
And he's like,
Mommy,
"No, but we have
Mom.
to." So as he is like opening the door, because we see it, it's the last scene we see in the trailer, is him like opening the door. It's the creakiest door of all time.
Yeah. The creak of the door literally was like, "Hey, serial killer, I'm down here.
Exactly.
We're here.
We're here." All right, so he heads downstairs with the knife, and then we get the music. Then his favorite song starts blaring, right?
Mhm.
All my favorite songs are sad and slow.
And he gets down there and he goes to grab the landline telephone, the old rotary phone. The old telephone as we used to call them back in the 80s.
Mhm. And the
And
line's
it's-
cut.
And the line's cut. Classic line's cut. It's dead.
Finds a cell phone.
SIM cards are all taken out. They're all dead, so you can't do that. Mom starts screaming, and then Logan
Well,
has.
You can call the cops.
You
if
can
your SIM
totally
card
call, yeah.
is out.
You can
I
totally
didn't-
call 911.
PSA for everybody. Like, if you're in the situation and your SIM card's been pulled out, you can still call 911.
That's actually that's a good thing. I actually did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, this is like the episode where we talked about child kidnappings. Same kind of principle. PSA.
Call 911.
Call 911. It's okay. It's 90% of the time. It's okay.
So then cell phones are toast. Mom starts screaming. He's hunting around the house looking for her, and then he heads down to the basement because
He hears her screaming from the
we've been down there 14 times already. Obviously, this is where this is all going to culminate and be something, right?
basement.
So he's down in the basement, creeping through the creepy tunnels, right?
Mhm.
And he's walking with the knife in hand, right?
Oh,
And then
Yes.
boom, Mom shows up, right?
Right in the
And
knife.
he stabs his mother.
yeah.
He stabs the crap out of her.
Stab that woman.
He just stabs the crap out of his mother. I didn't see that one coming. I'll throw that out there. But I was like, this is fine.
Rest in peace.
Mom's dead.
Right. And at this point, I'm writing in my notes, "Oh my God, where did she come from? Oh my God, he stabbed her. What? Yes, go, run. It's the only thing you're good at."
Right.
He's not good at
He's
that
not
either.
good at it though. He's lost 30 seconds off his time at least.
Yeah.
He
At
tripped.
least 30 seconds off his time. Yeah.
So he freaks out. They freak out. Everyone's freaked out, and the guy is down there, standing there in the darkness, right? So he turns
Mom,
and he
Mom,
runs
Mommy.
away,
Mom.
Shut up, dude.
and it's just not happening. So he sneaks back out, and then the guy's chasing him. We go up the stairs, and it seems very slow and very stupid. And the guy catches him, trips him up, right? He's in the kitchen, and he pins him down. And I laughed at this scene, this moment. I actually laughed very
It's
hard.
funny.
It is funny. The serial killer's got him pinned, and he reaches in and do the close shot of his eyes. I was like, oh, dude, pluck out his eyeballs or something. This is going to be great. No, he takes out his contacts.
He takes out his contacts and then gets off of him and goes, "Now run." And
So
pushes
stupid.
him out the
So
door.
so frustrating.
That line was
Infuriating.
cool.
Stupidest cinematic moment ever. The stupidest thing ever captured on film and presented to human eyeballs.
And like, why did Logan keep his eyes open while this man's like reaching in? Like he was like complying.
Yeah, he's just like,
all right.
all
Let's
right.
make it easier for you, sir.
So
He's like frantically running into the woods in the dark, with no sight, right? Because he doesn't have his.
he's blurry vision, and
Contact.
he's just running.
He's running with the flashlight.
Yep.
Screaming for help,
Yep.
And there's snow on the ground, which did you notice that there was no snow in like immediately when he walked out into the backyard, and then the moment he's into the woods, there's snow on the ground?
No.
I did notice the snow was brutal.
Discrepancies in
And,
the snow.
Yeah, they were all over the place. And in the snow lasting on the ground in SoCal, I have a hard time buying it.
Up in the mountains.
I think they're Northern California.
Oh,
Or
I thought they were in.
They're near
No.
San Bernardino.
Yeah.
I thought they were in San Bernardino. No?
I don't think anyone knows where they are.
We don't have a clue.
If you're from San Bernardino, let us know how long snow lasts.
Yeah, Southern California's got more desert. I don't think it's got like
SoCal
woods.
is like the snow is not just like sitting on the ground for a while. I don't think.
Like West Coast
even snow.
This looks like deep in the mountains, like Washington or like Vancouver or something.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah,
right. Like the mountains are intense.
If I had not known the San Bernardino thing, I would have thought we're in like the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, that's where I thought. I was like, yeah, definitely. Nope.
But I was thinking too, I was like, okay, I'm glad that there's snow on the ground because it'll make it easier for the guy to stalk him into the woods. Let's end this quickly.
Yeah, well, also him being a dummy fucking with a flashlight. And it's like, yeah, kid, it's nighttime. You literally just waving around a beacon. All right, so he runs away. He somehow inexplicably just gets away from this guy. This serial killer is terrible. And he hides along a bank, along a road or something, I think.
No, it was a fallen tree.
Oh, is that okay? That's what it was, right? And then we get
footsteps, so he hides with this like shaky flashlight in his face, and it's like turn that thing off.
Which she does shut off, right? But then we get like the comedic moment of, and here's Martha.
Staring into the sky, like, oh, what a lovely night. I forgot who I am.
Yeah, rest in peace, Martha.
I was like, what?
Top character.
What?
So he thinks it's the killer, but it's just Martha. So he hears her walk away and he's like, I'm in the clear. I'm going to keep running. And then it's like the daytime. He's coming into like a clearing and there's no snow on the ground.
It's been 8 hours. Like it was nighttime and now it's daytime. It's morning. Yeah. It's 8 hours. 8 hours has passed and he's still roaming around the woods.
And he's like still freezing, right?
You ever had beaver fever? You don't want beaver fever.
What
I wrote on my notes. I'm like, they're from California. They don't.
Beaver fever?
What? Don't even ask him.
Giardia. He's drinking out of the stream fresh. He's got Giardia for days. That's beaver fever all day.
Yeah. Okay. See, he just jumps ahead with things, and I don't know what's going on anymore. So,
same thing. We're trying to end this.
But we're trying to end it like chronologically.
Disagree.
Also logically.
No, there's no logic in. You can't tell me there's logic in this movie.
No, there isn't.
I'm not talking about the movie.
So Logan ends up by a stream. He's sipping like a little deer, like a little fun, having some water, just minding her own business.
The metaphor for how he feels.
Getting Giardia,
and then pow. No, I wish it was that. What ends up happening is the serial killer finds him and just grabs him and strangles him.
But it doesn't show him
in the most awkward screaming moment of all time. He's like,
Yeah, so like Logan, you're seeing Logan like begging for his life, like please don't kill me, and you see the guy like reach for him, but then the music stops. It goes completely silent. The scene cuts to like showing an owl in the tree and showing like the grass in the forest and whatever, and like everything's dead silent, and then it cuts back to now a lifeless Logan laying next to the stream. So you don't actually see Logan die.
You see the corpse.
You just assume, right, that he was maybe strangled but like he's dead. So it's funny to like think that we saw him stab his mom. We saw Chris's throat being slashed open. We saw the fingers get like completely mangled, but we don't see this guy strangle him. Oh, is that too much? Yeah. Can we not see people get strangled in this movie?
No, they're trying to make it all arty. Be like, here's a house, here's a bird, here's a dead body.
here's a big fat turd.
Yeah.
The whole movie.
And then so Logan's dead, and then we just cuts really hard to an empty road and a truck driving down it.
SUV.
And the truck is driving, and it pulls off down a little dirt road. Camera pans over, and what do we get? A sign for?
Country road.
An open house. I lulled out loud.
And the cycle continues.
I wanted to punch myself in the face.
If I could, I choose violence on this one. It's not. There was nothing good about the end of this movie. It was infuriating.
The end. Elfine.
Yeah, you can talk about your sequel. Go listen to Worth Watching Once if you want to hear more about it. But Thaís.
Oh, yeah. Oh, plug it. Make them listen to that.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, tease.
Just give the highlight.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear my idea for the sequel for this movie, definitely check out our episode on Worth Watching Once.
It's far better than this movie.
For sure.
We go into what we think the movie should have been and also what it will be after.
Deep.
But that's it. That's the open house. If you ever think about going to an open house and seeing a home.
Well, the open house, right?
Yeah, don't go to the open house, but I don't know. Just double check the hot water heater. I think that's a good safety tip for anyone looking at a new home, prospective buyers. Just make sure the hot water heater is working. If there's any creepy tunnels, skip it. There's other homes out there for you, Also
check under the mat for the door apparently to the open house.
yeah, definitely just check over.
Like, just leave the key under the mat. And it's like, don't you have lock boxes?
Yeah.
This is a $1.3 million home.
Yeah, right. Yeah. 3 years ago, they had lock boxes. They definitely were using those back then.
But if you see something, say something. And it's this meets that.
Do you guys think that the house sold?
That house? No.
Yeah. Do you think that, like, with the tragic murders of people, like now with everyone loving true crime and not like maybe people would have wanted to buy that house even more?
I don't know.
Not for asking price for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna drop it down to like $1 million probably.
Yeah.
At least.
There's blood upstairs from her mangy fingers. Like $4,000 off of this house, please.
So that's it. We made it. We did it. Thank you guys for joining us and doing this and surviving.
Yeah,
thank you for having us on. It was a lot of fun.
This was a lot of fun. Doing this with you guys. So thanks for all the listeners for listening. We'll be back next week with a whole new movie or whatever we're doing. We're not even sure yet.
Allegedly.
But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That, and we're ITMT Pod on Twitter.
Yep. Or if you're feeling old fashioned as always, you can send us an email. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. We'll feature you on the fan service portion of Trailer Trash, which everyone loves. Or you can find all of our episodes at itsthismeetsthat.com. And I know we've got some plugs for Worth Watching Once, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you can find us at Worth Watching Once on Instagram and WW1Pod on Twitter.